these kids 20 years ago, and they're just trying to get the truth from him to solve the case. And, like, them asking him this is, like, bleeding into his mind. That's how I read that. We have reached an impasse again, are starting another reboot of the system. I had to fix it. I'll tell you everything. Court decision. Defendant Phil Harris was sentenced to death by electric chair for the abduction and murder of 2 children. He moved the bodies many times trying to hide them. Eventually they were found on the territory of the house. Harris buried them in the place where the van was standing. The 3rd child was saved. I wonder if this is a game with multiple endings, or if that's just how it went. During the investigation, the pilot project Golden Egg was involved. Thanks to him, we got recognition from Harris. In the Golden Egg, we discovered that Phil Harris suffers from multiple personality disorder, his mind divided into 2 different people. Is that Phil and someone else, or 2 versions of Phil? Depressed Phil, who withdrew into himself thinking that he could prevent the death of his family, and the dominant personality, the clown, who had not manifested himself since childhood. So yeah, his parents told him he was screwed up, and he got them taken away for having schizophrenia, and then he got a new home, and while he was in a normal home, he wasn't having that. Since the clown controlled him in real life, I think the real Phil helped Jonathan find the place where the children were hidden. He couldn't fix his mistake, but he had to help those families. So in in real life, they had the clown strapped to the table, but when they dove into his head, his other personality, the loser one, between the 2, told them where the bodies were. Interesting. Absolute cinema? I don't know about that. Music and SFX from freesound.org. Yo, that's in my budget too. I don't blame him. I'm still confused about Henry and Jonathan. So did Henry dive into Phil's mind and then die? Like he couldn't find his way out? And then Jonathan tried to go in and Jonathan found the answers? I still need to look up like a write-up explaining all this and see if anybody else figured it out. Jonathan didn't find Sergeant Henry. Oh, there we go. What are we going to do? Do not disconnect it from the system. I'll find something to tell the police. Henry, 3:17 a.m. Okay, so Henry's still trapped in the clown's head? Oh god, I thought it was over! Deep in the recesses of a maniac's mind, we found lots of naked lady-shaped figures when no one is surprised. Turns out guys really like that kind of stuff. Can't sprint. Don't like that. You have fantastic dental. Do you get that from Phil? Is he hiring? I thought he was gonna come up behind me and drown me in the bathtub for a second there. I don't know what's going on. I look like Lucifer himself grabbed that kid. This is the subway that was in the Henry crying. The puzzle had a picture of a subway, but I never found the last piece of the puzzle. It depends. Phil, you're mine forever now. The final. You've passed the game by 100%. What? Hold on. The Sorceress's Tent. Level selection. Okay. Alright, hold on. Okay. Let me try to... Alright. So at the beginning we play Phil. Phil says he lost his wife and kid, and is trying to use a time machine to go back and find him. Then we stop playing Phil, and we play Henry, who's investigating that house. And Henry ends up finding a trapdoor out back, and while messing with it, he gets bonked over the head and goes missing. Jonathan gets sent out to look into this. If it doesn't find Henry, finds the place, starts looking at it. It's then revealed that they're inside Phil's mind using that golden egg technology. Jonathan, in his mind at the shack, finds a diary of his, and that lets him go deeper, like another level in. And he ends up at like the circus thing. And he like finds more information. He finds the kid, he finds the location of the child, and he finds the location of the other bodies. And you find out that there were 3 kids that went missing. One that he took and was like, this is my kid now. And then 2 more that he kidnapped so that the first kid would have friends. But they were acting up, so he ended up killing them. And then they get the information they want. They put Phil away, but Henry isn't coming out of the system. And at the end, it seems like Henry is trapped in Phil's mind. Okay, that's my read on it. All right, that's my read on it. I want to see if anyone pieced this together differently. Father's Day game explanation. Okay. Let me see what we got. Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking for a write-up. Nope, that's not what I want. Steam community. Visit community hub. First thing I saw is be sure to refund this. Wow. Hang on a second. Discussions. Community hub. The problem with Act Find. My new game, Pieces of Me. Oh, we played that. Can't find hook, looked everywhere. Invert mouse option. Does anyone have... Huh. Alright, so I don't see anyone discussing the thing. Was that review from Noxy? I don't know. So someone wrote, the developer promised not to return after his bomb of a first game. I'll be buying it just to refund it like the last one. Make better, longer, well-written games and people won't refund it, thanks. What? It's got a positive review rating. Like, for the people that like that. I mean, it's suffering for me, but it definitely scared me a few times. I will say, chat, I have heard of some developers that make short games, and they're, for the people that like them, they're good games, but they're less than 2 hours long, and they greatly suffer from people, like, playing the game, 100%ing it, and refunding it. Like, it is a problem I've seen them talk about on, like, social media. Because on Steam, you can refund if you're at if you have less than 2 hours played. Let's see. Muck, check the achievements. Let's see what you missed in there. Okay. Did you take the toy to Peter? You have found a slot machine. Hang on. Did you turn off the vinyl player before you went to bed? Sit in the chair and watch the video already. Phil didn't immediately sit down in the chair by the video player. 8 hidden achievements. Check this out. What is this? Father's Day story and ending explained. 4 minutes long. That's 2 minutes in muck time.
What a lovely day to be thankful that we have our loving fathers in our lives, because there are most people who have never even gotten a chance to meet theirs. This game centers around 3 protagonists, with 2 of them being the major ones, Phil, Jonathan, and Henry. I've named them respectively in terms of their importance and will be explaining them one by one. Phil is a patient with multiple personality disorder. Throughout his childhood, he suffered from this disorder, which scared his parents, who thought that he was possessed by a monster that caused him to abuse Phil, which attracted the attention of social services, and they were sent to a psych ward diagnosed with schizophrenia. Phil was then put into foster care, where he hoped that his new parents would accept him as he is, though I doubt that they did. Years later, Phil would grow up and have a wife and child, but they die in a tragic accident, causing Phil to fall into depression, causing him to drink heavily and becoming an alcoholic, which in turn causes his monster personality to manifest, which is a clown that kills people. This clown manipulates Phil into abducting children under the guise that their fathers are monsters and that he could be a better father, though that is not the case, as he ends up killing those kids and hiding their bodies. This goes on for some time until he kidnaps a boy named Peter and keeps him inside of his basement. Soon he gets caught by the police, but they can't get him to reveal anything about the missing children, as Phil himself does not know due to the influence of his clown persona. This causes the police to use an experimental procedure to get the information. This procedure requires two people to hook up their brains inside a machine that joins both their consciousnesses in a virtual reality simulation, allowing one person to explore the memories of the other. This machine is called the Golden Egg. The first person to get inside of Phil's head is a sergeant named Henry, who explores near the region where Phil worked as a clown, but he goes outside the boundaries of this virtual reality and loses connection with the real world. This causes him to get transported to the region of Phil's mind that is dominated by his clown persona, which eventually traps him in his own nightmare, never to be found again, even though the people who sent him keep searching for him. This is where Henry's story ends. Not a happy one, but the one that instills a dread inside of your mind. Immediately afterwards, Jonathan is sent after Henry. Whereas Henry was a sergeant, Jonathan is the uncle of one of the missing children who used to live near Phil's apartment with his mother. This is probably how he got caught in the first place, as within Phil's memories we see that when he rings the bell to his neighbor's door, she screams loudly, telling him to leave her alone, fearing for her life, unbeknownst to Phil, as he was under the clown's control when he kidnapped her son. And also in a letter written by Jonathan, who actually met Phil in real life and warned his sister.
Okay, hold on. I remember this note. I want to read it again. Your neighbor doesn't bother you anymore. I know you're kind to him, and your son likes him, but he seems strange to me. His name is Phil, and he lives alone. I've got something on him. He had a family. They got into a car accident. His wife and child died. After that, he moved into an apartment in your house. I don't think you should talk to him. Your brother Jonathan. So at the time we found this, we were playing Phil, I think? And I was like, yo, why is this guy so mean? He's spreading false information. But now we have a bigger picture
that he did not seem right in the head. So Jonathan explores Phil's psyche, which is filled with mannequins and bottles of alcohol and signs of abuse from his early childhood. He navigates through them, searching for clues and avoiding the clown personality that dwells within. Eventually, he finds the location of the missing and alive child, but they pull Jonathan out due to data abnormalities. We then switch back to Phil in his apartment, who...
Hey, is your bedtime? Chat, let me tell the boy goodnight. I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Eventually them searching for clues and avoiding the clown personality that dwells within. Eventually, he finds the location of the missing and alive child, but they pull Jonathan out due to data abnormalities.
I found the boy Peter. He was alone in that room. Peter told me there were 2 more children. I couldn't find them. I couldn't find JJ. Phil hid the information about where he hid them. Maybe I should try again. I'm sure I can find them.
The best number. Nice.
Hey,
Mukluk feels good. Mukluk look.
Thank you.
We then switch back to Phil in his apartment, who eventually realizes what he has done and confesses to his crime, giving up the location of the buried children, and eventually gets executed in an electric chair, putting an end to his sad life.
Okay, I guess I did catch everything? When I clicked on this, I was skeptical you could explain it in 4 minutes, but you did. Good job. Thank you for the explanation. I watched Hollow playing this. I didn't understand the story. Thank you for the explanation, because I'm not able to understand the story. Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one, but yeah, I guess I did pretty much catch on to it. All right, well, that was Father's Day. I would say, all right, that we definitely got scared really bad. I think it's really funny that one of the biggest scares was right when Noxie joined in. That was hilarious. Definitely lots of scares. The puzzles were kind of cool. Then there was that whole bit where we had to run around the circus while the clown was chasing us, but he wouldn't, like, do any cardio. That was really stupid. And then there was that little, like, 10-foot chase sequence in the tunnel. That was really stupid. And then everything after that was, like, kind of cool again, as far as, like, how it went. But okay. That was Father's Day. I think this one was gifted by Seth, so... he did that. I'm not thanking you for it. All right, and we are off to the next one.